Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from this month's sponsor, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
If you're wondering about what you can do if you find yourself in an FCPA compliance action, check out the FCPA Survival Guide. It's my latest book. It's sponsored by Ethico, and in it, I take up and write the top 10 things you can do to reduce your overall fine and penalty if you find yourself in an FCPA enforcement action. So check out the FCPA Survival Guide. The Daily Compliance News for January 10, 2025. The Enron is back edition, and we begin with that story from the New York Times. Yes, Enron's back. What on earth could go wrong? The pranksters, however, behind the Birds Aren't Real campaign are back to revive the company's symbol synonymous with corporate malfeasance. It has merchandise, and it's claiming this merchandise is an at-home nuclear reactor. Well, where is Elon Musk when you need him? Next up from the Wall Street Journal, Risk and Compliance Journal, Richard Vandeford reporting that Bayview Asset Management has entered into a $20 million settlement over cybersecurity weaknesses. 53 state-level regulators dinged the mortgage company for allegedly failing to fully cooperate in a data breach-related lawsuit. The Coral Gables-based investment manager that owns mortgage servicing firms had a deficient information technology practice and suffered a 2021 data breach which affected 5.8 million customers. Agencies in 53 jurisdictions took action against Bayview, and Bayview agreed to make corrective action and improve its cybersecurity programs. Our next story is one more about just the invidiousness of the current U.S. Supreme Court, as Samuel Alito has admitted he spoke to Donald Trump on the phone Tuesday, immediately before Trump filed his motion in the Supreme Court to prevent his sentencing. I can't emphasize enough what a conflict this is, because obviously Trump then filed his motion. Now, Alito claims it was about a reference, but let me ask, do you really believe that, given what Alito has done to date around conflicts of interest and other issues which touch on bribery and corruption? Yes, the Supreme Court is now being actively lobbied directly by Donald Trump. No doubt he will do the same when he becomes president. So, Supreme Court loses more prestige, more honor, and comes off falling into the dirt with all others. At the start of this podcast, the sponsor for the entire Compliance Podcast Network is Ethico. Well, Ethico has a great new offering this month for you, a toolkit for middle managers. This is something that you, as the compliance professional, can use to move your compliance program forward by giving middle managers the skills necessary to answer a call for speak up, or when someone comes in their office and raises a concern. I can't think of a tool that will be more valuable for you in the current era of enforcement. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.